Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty Group, and welcome back to this week's Pick 5. Now last week on Pick 5, actually 2 weeks ago, because last week we did that incredible thing with all the cameras, lighting, and production. Yes, 2 weeks ago, I looked at houses in and around the Midtown area. Interestingly, some of the feedback, I had one reader that wrote back and said there's absolutely nothing about this Pick 5 that makes me want to live in Midtown. Not my fault. Okay, those are the properties that were available. Now, maybe it's the property type, maybe it's the price point, maybe it was the selection that I had, or maybe it was the everything else, right? Just as an example, humor me here. One of the properties, you stand in the front yard and you can look up and see 3 huge condo towers. To some people in major world-class cities, they feel great about that. I have a home on the ground, and up there are all the people living in the towers. And other people, they don't want that. They want to live in an area that is quiet and quaint, and that certainly is not Midtown, Yonge Eglinton. So I wanted to do this today, as you saw from the title. I wanted to continue that theme that we had, but this week look at condos. Now, Yonge and Eglinton is a fascinating area because I grew up in Leaside, right? I cut my teeth at Bayview and Eglinton where we had the consumers distributing. I used to go to get toys, right? And once in a while, I would take the bus up to Edwards Record World, where I bought my first ever cassette, Crisscross. Why are they wearing their clothing backwards? I don't know. But I got that across the street from the what we know now as Silver City. Silver City wasn't built until probably 95, 96, which was only a few years before I was working at Shark City. True story, that's me. Before I became a bartender, that was me as a barback, but trust me, once I saw the money that people were making bartending, I weaseled my way in there pretty quickly. And if you look at this photo, you can plainly see I have not changed a bit. Half my life ago. Now, as far as real estate at Yonge and Eglinton goes, I have done many blogs on this in the past. If I recall correctly, there might have been one where I was in a dimly lit room with cinder block walls, no audio, and a baggy suit. Yeah, true story. No, that was me. And that was like 12, 13 years ago. The funny thing about that video is that it's still on YouTube, and some of the comments, people completely miss the point. I talk about how these properties are selling for $800 a square and how expensive that is. People are saying, well, this didn't age well. Properties are $1,100 a square. The point, dummy, is that at the time you could have brought resale for $650. So $850 back then made absolutely no sense. Now there was another video I did. I'm picturing shaky handycam footage as I walk along properties in a land assembly. Yeah, no, again, the technology has barely changed. But that property is the Berwick, and all those houses were torn down to build that condominium. And another blog comes to mind. Let's see if we can put a picture of this up. Me and Chris one day early on when he started, this has got to be 2016, 15, we ran around and made a list of all of the condos that were either approved or had a zoning application in. And now here we are, 2014. Oh my gosh, I wish. 2024, sorry, that's from a blog that I'm actually posting on Thursday comparing real estate prices across Canada over the last decade. But here we are in the correct year of 2024. We look back at that video that I did with e-condos, or that weird shaky handycam video that I did, or that blog with Chris, and we want to see where we can put it all together. So excuse the very lengthy intro there, folks. I hope that none of you skipped ahead. But I want to look at 5 properties today, and they're all going to be 1 bedroom. So let's start here at 185 Roehampton. So I'm going to give you the specs, okay? 185 Roehampton, this is a Peter Freed built condo, right? It is built in 2018, 35 stories and 452 units. So note that a lot of these condos are big and they have a ton of units. This thing here, all the way over almost towards Mount Pleasant. So your location isn't exactly A+ if you want to be steps to Yonge, where all the shops and restaurant and of course the subway is. But this thing is $615,000. This is a 1-bed plus den, 1 bath. We'll also make note of what constitutes a den in today's Pick 5. There is no parking space. This is 565 square feet, which means that this is $1,088 per square foot. Now, I'll say this about the pricing, right? I'm gonna give away the ending here. The prices aren't terrible, but what I'm getting at is that it's as though people pay a premium for new People pay a premium for Yonge Egg, and I'm going to ask you at the end, would you rather live in a different area, or would you rather live here? As we go through this video, you'll see kind of the pros and cons as I define them. So again, put that back up, $1,088 a square foot. Now views are very important in Yonge Egg. They're never that important to me. This unit, of course, this looks tenanted. I'm saying that because it doesn't look great. I wouldn't stage a unit like this, right? So take a look here. You've got a 2-person table wedged against the wall. You have a couch jutting into the kitchen. My first condo was 585 square feet, but I had a square plan. It was great. I had a real living room, I had a kitchen with a peninsula, and I didn't have a dining room. I could have had room for a 3-person table, but see this is a 4-person table. Yeah, okay, maybe, right? But look at the couch. Look at the distance from, say, the stove to the couch. You wouldn't think ordinarily that you could accidentally, pull something in the oven and spill it on your couch, because typically you don't have a couch in the kitchen. But the issue with a lot of these layouts, even though this is 565 square feet, is, right, how are the rooms apportioned? This is what we call the dreaded appliance wall. Now the bedroom's a fine size. You can see they've got a great view. They've got a balcony. Personally, I don't want to be on the balcony on the 28th floor. And here's a decent den, right? So you might look at this, if you're old like me, and think that a den should be its own room. It just doesn't happen to have a window. This is a decent sized den for a condo today. A lot of stuff in it. Don't love that shower curtain, but again, this thing is heavily tenanted. So there's the incredible view. Good for them. They put down deck tiles, and the rest are photos just of the view. So again, $615,000. Okay, it's kind of a lot for just a 1-bedroom. It does have a den. $1,088 a square. I'll say this about the maintenance fees. One of the things I'm noticing in general is that fees are skyrocketing. These fees are $500 a month, which is 89 cents a square foot. Funny comment. I thought it was funny. Client remarks, they lead with this: welcome to you future cozy home. I'm not making fun of the English as a second language. Let's say it said your future cozy home. I'm just kind of thinking, that's what you're leading with? Welcome to your future cozy home. Okay, you know what? All of a sudden I feel pretty good about the write-ups that I do. So guys, I don't love this offering. Again, $1,088 per square foot is not terrible. I don't love the layout. It's not right on Yonge, which is what most people want in this area. 28th floor, it does have a decent view, but it feels just a bit rich to me. So the next one we'll look at, 8 Eglinton, Unit 2004. Now, this is E-Condos, the video that I did in that bunker with that baggy suit, although it definitely did look younger 12 years ago. And here we are. Wow, E-Condos, 8 Eglinton Avenue East. Now, this is $625,000. It again is a 1-bed plus den, 1 bath, no parking, very similar to the unit that we just saw. However, here's where it gets fun. This is 509 square feet, which is $1,228 per square foot. That's a lot. That is $140 a square foot more than the last one. They're both on the 20th floor. The other one's 26. They're both gonna have an okay view, but what is the layout like in here, right? So you can see the first picture is of the building. The second picture is of the building. The third picture is of the building. Gosh, yeah. So the lobby, that's nice. I don't personally care about a nice lobby because I don't live in it. Now here you can start to see where the layout is problematic. What in the world is this? This is 2 stools at kind of like a fake bar facing the wall. I don't get it. You walk in, your foyer kitchen, right? I like to have a little bit of a separation. I always go back to my first condo. Again, 585 square feet. That's gigantic compared to the micro condos we're talking about today. But it's not that big a condo. But I walked in, I had a little foyer and I had a big closet, and I would take a couple steps forward and around the corner was my kitchen. Here you can see clearly that you're just walking right into it. Now when we pull out here, you can see where's the living and the dining. This is it, guys. Now work with me here. Let's just take a look specifically at this photo and we'll use your imagination. We'll use yours and mine. I'm gonna use my mouse and I'm gonna say, let's put a couch on this wall and then let's put our TV on this wall. Not terrible, but not big. Then what? We put a table here? Yeah, that's what you do in 509 square feet. But these people didn't pay for staging. I don't want to turn this into an advertisement for the Toronto Realty Group and what we do. Oh yeah, it works, because this just does not sell. You cannot see yourself living in this. Well, maybe you can, 2 doors closed, right? But this mirror on the floor doesn't make any sense. Where do I dine? Where do I sit? Where do I live? Teach me, tell me. There's 150 condos for sale at Yonge Egg right now. I'm gonna buy the one that I can see myself in. This is too hard. People don't like difficult things. And when it comes to real estate, I can tell you, people are gonna look at this and they're going to keep clicking. So we'll go through the rest of the photos because we're gonna keep clicking. We have Mickey and Minnie and Love. I don't know what the hell that is. What else can I say that hasn't been said? I'm sorry, hold on a second. So we're in the unit, now we're in the amenities, now we're back in the unit. Tell me all real estate agents are the same, right? So go through here, guys. I don't want to spend too long on this one. Great, now we're in the amenities, now we're back in the bedroom. Again, honestly, I should have my own show. Oh wait, I do, it's called Pick 5. So here we can see a little jail-sized bed. That's perfect. If I ever do go to jail, I want something just like that. Actually, I want bunk beds. Yeah. I don't know which I'd want, the top or the bottom. That's probably code for something, and I immediately regret this decision. Now, here's the fun part about this den, and it's not just the weird head that's here. That's part of it. It's that when you click out here, okay, is that a den? Remember the first den that we saw? There was a fish tank and a ton of girls' makeup. Is this den functional? I would say no, but believe it or not, folks, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, it's not the worst den that we're going to see today. So there's the den with the weird head. Now we're back in the bathroom, and we got some photos of other stuff. Am I going too quickly? Not quickly enough for me, okay? 3 photos of the door. We don't really have a view here, condos, right? And I do want to go to Yonge Egg. I should take you on a tour. Okay, so again, look at this space. This is what you're selling, right? You're selling living. How do you live in this place? You sleep in the bedroom, pretty basic. I think we all understand that there's a bed there. Of course, I would still stage it, but you really want to convey how people are going to live in 509 square feet. It is this right here, living and dining, that you need to do a better job of. So there you go. So again, condos, right? I didn't give you the specs on this one at the start. This was finished in 2020. It's 58 stories. It is 623 units. That's 623 toilets flushing, sinks being used, dishwashers on, all going down to the same infrastructure that we've had since what, the 1960s. This is part of my issue with Yonge Egg, and I said this at the onset, we'll kind of sum it up in the end. There's so much being built, and how are you gonna get along? How are you all gonna live in such an incredibly dense area? So I know it's been done in other cities, but can I just be honest and say that I don't trust our government to have put it all together. So 623 units, that light's going on and off. 623 units, as I said, that is a very, very big building. Now, let me go back to the listing. One more thing here, guys. I'm gonna click on the address history because I want to show you. This has been listed, okay? So here we are at 648,800. And this was on the market for 92 days. Now we're at 625,000, right? And you can see they listed before Christmas. They left it on the market over Christmas. But if you wanna look at the comp here, okay? This is the comp, 8 Eglinton Unit 1104. Now this thing sold in April of 2023, and it sold for $595. April of 2023, I would say, was maybe a slightly better market, maybe on par, but the point is their $595 is their sale price. And then these guys come out at $648, okay? So just use the example in any other industry, right? And I know that, real estate, I'm the first to say that, you can stage, you can have a better agent, you can manipulate the market, but these people certainly didn't. They put out an unstaged, ugly, right? That mirror, that desk. How are people supposed to see themselves in that unit? $595 is the comp. These guys came out at $648. They're now on the market at $625. It feels like they are chasing that comp. So the next one, guys, we're gonna go to 58 Orchard View Boulevard. So let's go to the map here. I didn't show you the map for condos, but I think you all know where that is. It's right at Yonge Egg. Here is Orchard View. So it's a side street, it's on duplex. Okay, cool, 1 block in. So this is Neon Condos, Neon Condos, Neon? I'm hoping it's a picture of me when I was younger. Yeah, Neon was pretty big back in the day. I think my brother liked it too. I'm going from memory. I'm gonna have to ask my mother to scan me these photos. But for those of you that don't know, Neon was huge in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure my dad didn't partake, but let's get up a family ski photo. Why not? It was huge in the ski jacket community. Neon was the shit, okay? Headbands, everything. I'm talking Beverly Hills 90210, wristbands, foot warmers, neon. So my guess is that somebody that is of my vintage came up with a name for this, or it's completely random like most condos. This is 2017 built, this is 20 stories, and it's 218 units. So it's a mid-rise, right? I don't want to live in E. I'm just going to say it's 640 something units. This is only 218. Now this unit here, guys, will go, take a look, 649,900. It's a 1-bed plus den, 1 bath. It has parking, but if you look at the price per square foot, at 590 square feet, it's 1102 a square. So, okay, a lot less than E condos, on par with the one at Roehampton, but look at the fees, $716 a month. That is a whopping $1.21 per square foot. $1.21 a square. When I got into the business, there was maybe a couple of buildings where fees were over 90 cents and you were shocked by them. But I know there's this thing called inflation. So I like this unit. Again, I'm gonna show you how some agents list outside of the building, outside of the building, outside of the building. Just in case you didn't get it the first 2 times. We have the lobby, and the lobby, and the lobby, and the elevators, and the elevators. We're now 8 photos in and we're not in the unit yet. I would be getting bored, kind of like many of my Pick 5 viewers in my first 4 minutes of ranting. So inside the unit, okay, collection of hats and shoes and coats. Yes, this is likely tenanted, but you know, the layout here works. So I'll say this, from a staging standpoint, I don't know if this is virtual or what, but this is partially the layout. Oh my God, is that the den? It actually might be. I'm gonna come back to that. But from the layout perspective, you have a real living and you have a dining that's kind of in the kitchen, but just look at the difference that this makes. And maybe this is virtually staged, it's better than nothing. But compared to that last one, where there was no staging and those people were chasing a comp that was 50 grand lower than what they were listed at with the crappy presentation, this here shows you, yes, that's my couch, that's my TV, I can have people dine there, this is definitely virtually staged. Although if you're gonna virtually stage, why would you put the curtains weird like that? Is it possible? You know what, it's good staging. I gotta say that's virtually staged because this here doesn't really match this here. It's like they had photos of the space and then they couldn't virtually stage the bathroom, which has lots of stuff in it, right? Yeah, here you can see, this is what it actually looks like. That looks like a bed out in the living room. Yeah, so virtually staged with some old photos that they put together, and that's fine. The problem with virtually staging is that it's a bit of a bait and switch. People get all excited, they go in, they see something different. So here, you're gonna look at this beautifully staged unit, you walk in and it's tenanted, and you know there's 2 people sleeping in the living room. So I'll also say that, yeah, you know, there's something about walking into a unit and seeing people sleeping in the living room where you, subconsciously or otherwise, maybe say, I don't want this unit. You put a lower value on it because of, you know, what's happening there. It's not unlike, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Let's say that, I don't know, you're brilliant, okay? You're a doctor, you got 3 medical degrees, whatever, and then you like walk into someone's house that you're looking to purchase, and on the walls, like their certificate from, I don't know, some college, some online program, like DeVry, Arizona Online. And I've seen people do this before. They're like, that's who lives here, huh? It's a competition, right? Subconscious or otherwise. So the problem with, right, not staging, it doesn't look as good, but I honestly do believe that when you have tenants and you have, and I know we're in a housing crisis, a 1-bed plus den, right? And someone's living in the den, someone's living in the living room, and someone's living in the bedroom, buyers don't like seeing that. So this is a bit of a tough sell because of how it presents. The rest of the photos here, guys, they're just the building, right? Okay, we don't really need to go through these. It's not a bad gym, I will say, as I continue to go through them, and I said that I wouldn't. Cool, yeah, wow. There we go, and there's the view. So I like this building, I don't like the fees. And this unit, I'm gonna go back here and take a look, guys, because I can't remember if I was supposed to look at the history of this or not. Yeah, I mean, it's basically a rental property, right? And you can see they put it on the market in 2016 for $399. It's the same owner. Shows you they kept it. Well, okay, now they're up $250,000, but they actually have to sell it to recognize that. So it's been an investment property, and it's funny because you can see how, right, during COVID, we're $1,700, but we were at $2,100 before. So, you know, I like the building. I don't like the fees, as I said. The price here at $1,102 a square, not great, but really, really tough from a presentation standpoint. Okay, so 30 Roehampton. I'm gonna go here to the map first because we saw 185 Roehampton and it was the Peter Freed building built 2018. I said was further over, let's just draw a little circle, right? It was, actually no, let's go, yeah, we were over here, right? So now we're closer. It's a newer building. This one is called Minto 30 Row. 30 Roehampton by Minto. And then you take the words and you put them in a hat and then you pull them out and it's called Minto 30 Row. I don't know why they didn't call it Neon. Oh wait, that number, that was taken, yeah. So this is $678,000. It's a 1-bed plus den, right? 1 bath, no parking. So you see the theme here, guys. We're kind of climbing ladder in terms of price. Now this is 608 square feet, so it's a little bit bigger. 1,115 a square. And I will say the fees for this, $473.80. That's only 78 cents a square. So photos, all right. Again, not as bad here. 1 on the outside of the building, 2 on the outside of the building, 3 on the outside of the building. I don't get it. I don't understand why people do that. 4 on the outside of the building, Minto 30 Row. Outside of the hallway, cool. Okay, den, yeah. You know what? Okay, that den, it's about the same size, I would say, as the one with the head. Here you can see that someone maybe is working from home on their furry rug while someone sits behind them with a throw. That's staging, but it's better than nothing. It shows the scale. Not a terrible den. Yes, you can have a home office there, but don't tell me it's a second bedroom. Here's a layout that I'm starting to like. You see this kitchen, it's not the full appliance wall. You've got that little peninsula there, and that enables you to have bar stools, but it also gives you a natural separation between the kitchen and the rest of the living space. So you might call this dead space. I know I certainly would. Keep talking about my first condo. I still have dreams about it, you know. I actually do. I have more dreams about my first condo than my second condo. So now you get into the living space, little couch, little table, everything's sort of miniaturized from a staging standpoint, but you actually have the space. And of course, because you've staged it, you can visualize it. My problem with this unit, right, just as I was talking all those nice things about it, is this, okay? Your couch is right across from the door. So whether this was a design flaw or whether it's my theory, developers absolutely do not care about any of this because they sell on floor plans in pre-construction, mainly to foreign buyers that have been propping up our real estate market for 20 years. Right, but yeah, no, I mean, no one looking at a floor plan or seeing picture of this would be like, yeah, you know what I need? I need to put a couch right across from the glass door because I can't put a TV on that wall. So if you put a TV on this wall, you're either watching TV like this every night or it's on a swivel, not unlike my head just there. So I don't love that, but you know, maybe I'm nitpicking. I'm not nitpicking because I know what I'm talking about. Here we see the tie-ups for the curtains. I have no idea what's happening there. Stagers, right? Everyone's different. So you've got a decent view here. The thing about Yonge Egg is that no view is ever going to be truly safe. I mean, they're probably not going to build on this football field here, but you never know what they could build on. So, oh God, amenities, and now we're back into the unit. Washer, dryer, now we're back to the amenities. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not rocket science, seriously. Maybe it is rocket science. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's actually rocket science to sell real estate in this city because the bar is so low. So again, Minto 30 Row, $678,000. Yeah, you know what? Let's look and see how many times this one's been listed. So, are you noticing a theme here? A lot of these units are listed over and over. This one's no different. So $749 in April, $729 in June, $679 in November, $678, right? $679. I'd love to have that conversation. We've been on the market for 4 months at $679 and it's not moving. Put it up at $678, right? So yeah, fine, they're just being stubborn. It's not going to sell, okay? $678,000. But what's the comp they're chasing, right? This one here. This is $730,000. But note what they did. They listed at $599,800. I'm sorry, hate me, but underpricing works. $599,800, and they listed it in May of last year, and they got their $730,000. So along come these guys, and they're like, yeah, right? Where's my list here, right? They're like, yeah, $749. Okay, let's do the same thing. They actually, if you look at this, they listed in April. They listed first. $749, no one wants to touch it. Buddy comes along, $599, staged, marketed, good agent, etc. Boom, $730,000, and then these guys have been chasing that comp ever since. Wow. Okay, the last one here, guys. Oh God, it's this one. This is 2221 Yonge Street, which is known as 2221 Yonge Street. Yeah, after Minto 30 Row and Neon were taken, developers just ran out of names. No, it doesn't have a name. Built in 2022, this is 58 stories and 604 units. This is the point I'm trying to make. I understand what happens in other areas around the world. Do you want to live in a 600 unit building? And I'll come back to that at the end. Now this is 658 square feet for 729,000. That's 1,180 square foot. And it's actually not terrible when you consider, look at my listing here, guys. They have a parking space. Now the fee's not terrible, $573.28, that's 87 cents a square. This one says it has a den. And oh boy, does it ever. Now here's the outside of the building. They built it on top of an old parking garage. Oh my goodness. Another photo of the outside of the building. Oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, 3 photos of the outside. There's a guy talking on a cell phone out front. It's called marketing. And there we go with the lobby. And that literally looks like a table with the keg. You know, when there's 8 of you, and they're like, no, you're coming around this way. All of a sudden, I'm dying for some French onion soup. Okay, this is the front door, and we are about to see the den of dens. You ready for it? You ready for it? Booyah! I was thinking mic drop, but I didn't have one. It's a pen, and also that's a microphone there. Back to the screen, please. What is happening here? Those lights look like, I don't go to a gym anymore, but I have heard that every wannabe influencer, you know those kids that grow up, don't want to work, finish school with a gender studies degree and are looking to make their millions? Yeah, they're all on the leg press at the gym with those stupid lights. So it's a comedy routine, okay? Don't hate me. But what is happening with these 2 lights here in this chair? It looks like someone's about to get their hair cut and their makeup done. This is not how to sell real estate. I do not know what's happening there, but I will also say now that we see the scale, that is not a den. That is not as big as the last one where you had that ridiculous table and ridiculous bench with throw. This is more ridiculous because I don't know what you could do in there. I couldn't even play racquetball in there. Can we get an image of that, please? Yeah, that's a video that I did years ago making fun of dens. So let's continue here. Boom. Oh my God, is that the second den? No, it's a TV, which for some reason is across from the first den. Go through the rest of it, and I almost feel like I should have just ended there. This is your kitchen, dining, living combo. This is 658 square feet. How in the world did they butcher this layout? You have 658 square feet. I'm no architect here, but I'm pretty sure I could design something better than this. Because, yeah, I mean, the couch is a little bit big. Holy crap, yeah, no, that's a big couch. But again, you've got a kitchen where maybe you've got this little island that's not terrible. You could have put living dining in here. Man, I don't love this. I really don't. I can't believe that was the den. No, it's not a dining table. It's a butcher's block. Okay, I hate this. Get me out of here. I hate this so much I want to leave. Get me out of here. Also, MLS is slow today. Thank you so much for bearing with us. See this loading right now? That's how photos used to load on 14.4 kilowatt modems. Back in my day, I wanted to say that. Okay, the photos are moving slowly, so I'm gonna try to keep going here. I mean, there's not much to see. I'm literally just trashing this unit. There's an upside down bicycle because I want to go to the listing description because this is gonna be the fun part, okay? I don't understand any of this. Welcome to Intensely Urban Site 2221 Yonge Street. I thought for a minute the building's called Intensely Urban, but it's not. It has no name. So I'm gonna be honest, guys. I spent more time on this than I want to admit. I have absolutely no idea what the hell this person's talking about. Welcome to Intensely Urban Site. Check this out. I love all caps. Enjoy a serene spa experience. I'll tell you what, intensely urban, no-name condo above parking garage, that's where you're gonna enjoy your spa experience. One parking valued over $100,000 is included. You can use it or rent it out. No kidding, you can use it or rent it out. See this hamburger? You can eat it or throw it on the ground. Like, you don't need to point that out. But $100,000 according to whom? I'm gonna noodle on that one. Scroll down here, last thing I wanna point out, no rent control. Who do you think they're marketing this towards? Absolutely wild. Now let's look at the address history here. Okay, this was on the market for $799. Now they're at $729. But the comp they're chasing is this one, $734,800. So this was in June of 2023. $734,800 sells 5 days in the market, and then these guys decide, hey, you know what? The market's down. In fact, David might say it's the worst fall market he's ever seen. But the other people sold for $738, so why don't we ask for 9% more? I don't understand why people price the way they do. I don't like this at all. I'm just being honest. I don't like the listing. I don't like the idea that they've put, oh let's put the screen away here. I don't like the idea that they've put on that listing, no rent control, because it tells me who owns in that building. Now, if you're looking for a rental property, different conversation. But this today is about 1 bedrooms at Yonge Eglinton for people that primarily want to live there. And I'll say this as I did at the onset. My first condo wasn't small, it was 300 units. It was a 230 king, but it was a long building, a whole city block, and it was only 17, 18 stories. It was quaint. It had on the outside of the building, let me put up a picture here, right, the old Imperial Bank of Commerce Rotunda, a heritage building that they incorporated into the design. I could walk a couple minutes to the St. Lawrence Market, over to Yonge Street if I wanted to, but it was quaint and I liked it. My next building was at 112 George. Bigger in stature, 2 buildings with a courtyard, right? Not small, but still mid-rise. I think it was 22 stories. My bias is that I would prefer to live in something like that. 600 units. 600 units. And you think, and I'm going to typecast here, that if you've got a younger demographic, because so many of these are renters, every night you've got, what, 500 Uber delivery people going through the lobby like lemmings? You've got 1,000 packages piled to the ceiling, right? Because everyone uses Amazon in these big condos. I don't love the idea of living in a 60-story, 600-unit building. And there's a reason a lot of these things aren't selling. Now, part of it is greed, part of it is really crappy listings, but I think that maybe I'm not wrong on this. And I'll also say as a final point, I generally go where the business goes, right? Someone emails me and they're like, hey, my name is Tom. I want to buy a house in Bloor West Village. Great. I don't think I've ever received an email from somebody in the last 10 years. My name is so-and-so. I've been reading your blog for this many years, and I would like you to help me find a 1-bedroom condo at Yonge Eglinton. I don't know, maybe I'm just not hip anymore. Maybe it's been a long time since I was this guy going to Shark City nightclub. But I don't know, maybe there's just not the demand that there is for downtown condos. And again, living in Midtown, completely different lifestyle. Maybe you're doing it because you grew up in one of the surrounding areas. Maybe you just don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of downtown. But there is way more hustle and way more bustle at Yonge Egg. So guys, that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions on this, you always know where to reach me. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and however the rest of that goes. I'm still trying to memorize this. Like, subscribe, and follow. No, that actually did just happen. And thank you again for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.